Back in 1964, I got a summer gig thanks to my friend Ronnie Reuben. He got us booked for the whole summer up in the Catskill Mountains in upstate New York at this place called the Stevensville Hotel. The Stevensville was a very luxurious resort hotel, and most of the people who stayed there were from New York City. They would come up, of course, on the weekends, but also during the week. The place was usually pretty full. Anyway, so the places where all the employees lived, like musicians, waiters, waitresses, maintenance people, were these wooden structures. I guess you might call them log cabins. But they had rooms in them for the people who worked there. And the room was very sparse. All it was a bed, a chest of drawers, a closet, and a sink with a spigot. There was no bathroom. You had to go down the hall if you wanted to go to the bathroom or take a shower. So anyway, that was the gig. What happened was it was coming close to Labor Day. It was coming near to the end of the summer, and the hotel overbooked, so they didn't have enough room in the hotel for all the guests that were paying to stay there. So what they had to do was they had to make some kind of an arrangement, and what they did was they put some of the people up in the places where we stayed. Of course, I'm sure they didn't charge them, and probably gave them a free weekend or week or whatever it was. So as it's happened, there were two people. It was a mother and her son, and the son was probably about 40 years old. And
wait, how old were you guys?
In our 20s. Oh. I think I was about 27, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, 1964. Yeah, I would have been 27 years old.
Okay.
So anyway, they had put these people up in separate rooms in our place. Our place was called Rockland. Every cabin had a name to it, and so they put them up in Rockland, down the hall from us. And the mother, you never heard her speak, but the son had this real loud, obnoxious, annoying voice, and he was just a discontented guy who complained about a lot of stuff. And the main thing he complained about was that there was no hot water. And so you would hear him, like, he'd get up early in the morning and wake us up we'd hear this voice like, "Mom, there's no hot water. There's no hot water." And then later on, like, you'd hear him walking up the path to go up to the hotel for breakfast or something. He'd say, "But Mom, there was no hot water. I'm telling you, there was." But you never heard her speak. But anyway, it was really annoying. Like, and he actually did wake us up with all this complaining. And the funny thing about Ronnie Reuben, he was just so annoyed with this guy, and it just struck me funny the way that Ronnie reacted to it. And I remember saying, "Hey Ron, did you hear that guy?" And he said, "Hear him? Oh man," you know, like, and he was like really bugged with it. Well, anyway, the guy kept this up all the time, and you would just hear this voice, "Mom, Mom, Mom," and you never heard her voice. I'm not even sure she was actually there. So on Monday, that was our day off. We had a choice of either driving back to Philadelphia if we wanted to go back, or we could stay up there and just hang around up in the mountains. There wasn't a whole lot to do there, and the drive back to Philly was long. It was a long trip. Well, anyway, on this particular weekend, Ronnie decided to drive back to Philadelphia, and I decided I didn't feel like making that trip, so I stayed up there. So anyway, I'm hearing this guy again. He's going on with his complaints about the hot water. And sitting around up there with nothing to do, and I'm just by myself. For some reason or other, I got to thinking like something should be done about this guy. So I devised this like stupid idea, a childish prank, and I I looked for a piece of paper that I could write something on, and all I had was this like tiny piece of lined paper that I tore out of this little book that I had, and I wrote on it in pencil, tonight there will be something like, tonight there will be no hot water for you again because you're such a spoil sport. And I signed it to management, never thinking that he would actually believe it was the management, you know. But, you know, just, it was the first thing that just came to my mind. So I was thinking, like, I'm going to put this on the guy's door. Now, how am I going to get up there? I didn't have any Scotch tape or anything. So how am I going to stick this on his door? And so I got some toothpaste and I put it on the back of this little piece of paper, which was torn and everything. I mean, there's no way that you're going to actually believe that this is the management. So I stuck it on the guy's door. And then I sort of forgot about it. I was sitting around reading the paper. We had this woman who was she was sort of, I don't know what you would call her, but she took care of these places where we lived, and her name was Mary. She was from upstate Pennsylvania, and she had a slight Irish brogue, like when she spoke, and we liked her. She was very nice to us. So I'm sitting out on the porch and I'm reading the paper or something, and she comes by and she says, oh, did you hear about the big to-do going on? And I said, no, Mary. And she's looking at me with this suspicious look, and she said, oh yeah, a lot of action going on here. Well, what happened? She said, oh, you know that couple, the mother and son? And she said, yeah, somebody's been playing some pranks on them. And and she's looking at me, and we both have this feeling like she knows it was me, and I know that she knows it was me, and she knows that I know that it was me. But I never let on. I just, oh, really? What, you know? So she said, yes, you know. So anyway, finally, Ronnie comes back, and he comes back from Philadelphia, and I told him what happened. Well, he thought it was really funny, and he said, we have to take it a step further. You know, we can't just end it. We have to. He wanted to get in on it, you know. So he said he knew that the keys to these rooms in Rockland, they all fit each other's door. Like every door, yeah, the same keys fit every door in that building. So he said, let's break into the guy. He didn't say break in, but basically that's what we were doing. So we made up some more notes. So this time we're going to leave them inside the room. So we go in the room, and the guy was not there, but he had a pair of pants that were draped across the bed, and they had just come from the cleaners. They had a cleaning establishment on the grounds. And so we put a note, no hot water again tonight, Charlie. And we put the note on his pants. So then we put another one in the spigot and in the sink, and it said, no hot water. So when he would turn on the water, this note would come out and say, no hot water. You know.
Oh my God.
Crazy stuff, yeah. So we put it in there. So now this really flipped the guy out, and we could hear him. But Mom, it's true. There was no hot water. There hasn't been hot water for days. And you never heard her reply, you know. And he would just go on. And so we're in there like cracking up, laughing, you know. This is hysterically funny. So next thing we know, we find out that the guy has gone to the management to complain and the management is thinking of bringing the police into it.
Ooh.
And we heard this through the grapevine. And there was a lead alto player in the band named Herb Dawson. And we looked up to him. He was sort of our mentor. And so he found out about it. He summoned us. And he said,
Summoned.
like, what are we going to do about this? Because they were on to us. Now the next step is we're going to get arrested for breaking and entering.
Goodness.
So Herb says, here's what you do. You stay away from the hotel for the next few days. Only come here to play the show. As soon as the show's over, you disappear. They can't find you. And that's what we did. So we did that for a couple days. Luckily, we weren't arrested. And I guess the whole thing blew over. But yeah, that was our big adventure in the Catskills.
Did you get hired back the next year?
Yeah, we did.